Dr. Kriss, I would like to ask you one question.
Mhm.
What made you interested in going in for voice RJ, voice mastery, and what made you more interested in this particular way of your life?
Right. Uh, Me getting exposed to radio was when I was very small. I used to regularly listen to certain jocks.
Okay.
The best ones, I would say, in Maharaja Radio in Sri Lanka, the shortwave radio, there was a person, a presenter called Abdul Hamid.
Mhm.
In Vivid Bharati, we had Amin Sayani.
Correct.
And we had people who had a particular style of presentation. They had their own mark of their own, and they worked only on radio. Amin
Okay.
Sayani Saab, I really feel he worked for 60 years in radio,
Correct.
which is more like getting
I-
mature inside
Mhm.
radio.
Mhm.
And by God's grace, later when he was working with Avaz, I was with the same radio network where I could actually see him work, where Amin Sayani is doing a radio show where I'm seeing it, which I listened to as a child.
Okay.
So there are certain things which will interest you as a child, which remains with you forever.
Correct.
तो जब बचपन में when I was listening to radio, that inspired me to give more focus on what is being told on radio. That influence probably is what led me to be a voice artist, and I would completely attribute it to my mentor who actually put me to documentary voiceovers. From there to commercial voiceovers, I started learning the nuances slowly. I got a chance to be a jock in Dubai, and once I was inside the radio, I started experimenting what goes right, what goes wrong. I started learning about what happened in international radio history, how there is a pirate radio in UK, how Amin Sayani Saab or people who were working in the freedom of fighting time, how they moved the radio station from one place to another and still broadcast the same concept. So all these things make radio a very special tool. Then you understand that radio is the only medium which can be accessed by people while doing other work. If you want to watch TV, you have to sit before the TV. You
Correct.
cannot move away.
Yes, you cannot move.
But radio, you can work, you can drive, you can do whatever you're doing, you can have a bath, you can do everything, you can have your food, still listen to radio. So this medium of voice has an impact on a person in a different way where he doesn't have to give up anything else. He can be still hooked on to that voice. So if you look at great personalities speaking, you've heard speeches of Vivekananda, you've heard speeches of Tagore or Gandhi, or you've heard speeches of great leaders. That inspires you even if you're on radio. When I was in my fourth standard, when BBC was broadcasting how Indira Gandhi was assassinated, that is spread across the world in no time.
Like
When I
wildfire,
came-
it was a wildfire.
So when I came to Dubai, I knew that there are 63 different radios.
Correct.
So in a small country like UAE, in the modern times, still radio has an impact. That made me believe that as long as I'm living, I'm going to use my voice.
Mhm.
And maybe as an RJ, maybe as a voice artist. And what I learned, if I keep it with myself, thinking that if I teach somebody else, then I lose my job, then I'm being the most foolish person.
Correct.
So my intellect or my judgment took me to a thought where I need to teach this to people. I need to take it to those people who are passionate about radio and make this a lifestyle for them. That led me to, from being an ardent radio listener to being a voice coach and to train people. Even when you're singing, हर song का एक meter होता है and the breath also is there.
Okay. Breath
So-
is also involved in that.
Breath is involved in that.
Okay.
If you're just if you're taking a song,
Hmm.
बड़े अच्छे लगते हैं.
Correct.
It sounds technically doesn't have anything. बड़े अच्छे लगते
Little more
हैं.
melodious and move.
Then that is the breath work. So how to teach this breath work? That's what my endeavor is all about.
One more question, Dr. Kriss, is about like when you were in your growing up stage. That time, like now we have a lot of FMs and other things. During that time, there were only medium wave and short wave, correct? And radio stations were less, and you are from India. So,
True.
So when you were thinking about joining as a radio jockey or you were practicing that voice daily in and out, okay. So you would have started at very young age of yours. What
Yeah.
was your age at that particular time?
When I joined Dubai, the radio station, I was 27.
27. That was journey when you came to Dubai. But yes, I am sure you would have practiced it long back before.
No. I never practiced radio before coming to Dubai.
Okay, so
What I was practicing was commercial voiceovers and documentary voiceovers.
okay, so commercial.
And I was a TV presenter, so I was using my voice in a different way, where your body language also plays a part on television, where your breath work does a role, but I didn't understand that then. When I was acting in serials, when I started dubbing for characters, I understood there is breath work involved. So live television, then serials, acting in those, all those things, including drama,
Okay.
I understood that voice has an important role. When you listen to Bachchan Saab, or when you listen to, say, Morgan Freeman, when you listen to Amin Sayani, when you listen, Aaj bhaiyon aur behnon, bina ka geet mala mein, you actually
You
tend
just
to.
remind me of the same 8 o'clock in the
Yeah.
evening, right? 8
Vivid
o'clock
Bharati.
in Vivid Bharati.
So you tend to just listen.
Mm-hmm.
In Tamil radio, the medium wave, when Abdul Hamid comes, Indru Pirandanal, Kondadum Yellorukum, the modulation itself is different. So you tend to fall in love with such kind of, say, their styles.
Yes, that is for sure. Like
Yeah.
Amin Sayani and all, it was like 8 o'clock. People, even that Radio Sri Lanka used to come with Binaka Geet Mala,
Yeah.
and then Sibaka it became.
Yeah.
We used to try to tune it, and still we wanted to hear that particular voice of Amin Sayani welcoming, and we used to feel connected.
Aaj din acha ho gaya.
हाँ.
That's the feeling you get when the voice plays that game. So us hisab se, when you're looking at how voice plays, I'm sure that people will just fall in love with it.
I'd like to ask you one more. As you said, breath work is more important in voice modulation. So when you're doing voice modulation, sometimes like when we hear a RJ or somebody speaking and doing the entire process of comparing or whatever they are doing in, we do not hear them breathing. Although the mic is very close to their mouth, right? We do not hear them. And I have tried myself many times trying to do it. But when I do, it comes this way. The breath comes in middle, and that spoils the entire whatever you got emotions, feelings,
Now,
everything.
It's on a technical level. I would like to take it to a technical answer.
Yeah.
Where the radio condenser mics have a pop filter.
And that is ground one. That one.
So when you're talking over the pop filter, many minor sounds are cut off.
Okay.
When you're using, say, cricket commentary or football commentary, there is a nose guide which actually cuts your breath.
Correct.
That doesn't go to the mic. Only your mouth goes to the mic.
We never knew all these sort of mics.
Yeah. So each mic is different. When you're using a cardioid mic for singing, that's a different mic. When you're using a USB mic, that's different. When you're using a lapel or a lavalier, that's different. So when you're using a shotgun mic or a boom mic, that's different.
There's so many varieties of mic.
Yeah. And each one has a different purpose.
Okay.
If you're seeing a sync sound recording for a movie, they'll be using a shotgun mic and a boom mic. The boom mic will have a whole, the wind cheater and everything. The shotgun mic will be specific. When you see dramas, you will see long mics hanging from above. Those are shotgun mics specifically to one direction. There are unidirectional mics, there are multidirectional mics, there are condenser mics, there are cardioid mics, there are USB mics. The variety of mic is to suit the situation.
Okay.
जैसे कि आपके जो ईयरफोन्स जिस पे जो माइक्रोफोन होते हैं, that's calculated that distance from your mouth. You don't need to hold it to your mouth.
Correct.
You can just drop it and speak. That's how it is meant to be.
Correct.
So each mic has a way of using.
Correct.
उसके हिसाब से change होता है.
Thank you very much. I'm sure the listeners who are listening to it, like nowadays, a lot of bloggers, YouTube, and people who want to go into this voice modulation and voice.
Things have changed these days. I started recording interviews in a device called M-Audio. I also used the mini disc recorders, which have an XLR mics. Then I moved on to something called H4n, which is used for movie dubbing also, movie sync sound also. I started recording directly on the Zoom H4n. Then I started using XLR mics to connect to it and then take interviews. And currently my studio is actually an H4n with a mic.
Okay.
And these days things have changed. Blapunkt, the company, they have come up with a special mic for iPhones, which you can directly pin onto your iPhone and make it a studio.
That's it.
That's it.
Because normally when we try to record at home, what we happen, we try to hear a echo or a hissing sound in the background also, right? So now then people are trying to overcome through various softwares, but still something is missing in there.
What is missing is how to deliver the sound.
Okay.
The mic is a stupid device.
Correct.
It cannot do anything else.
Correct.
It can only record what you're saying. So it is up to the speaker or the singer to make it better.
Okay.
You bring the best of the best mics. And if I'm asked to sing, Mera jeevan kora kagas kora hi reh gaya, there is no emotion to that song.
Only just some breaks and some punctuation marks.
I can add breath to it and I make it sound like Mera jeevan kora kagas kora hi reh gaya. Now I can add emotion to it and make it sound Mera jeevan kora kagas kora hi reh gaya. Jo likha tha. So you add emotions to it.
Yes.
That is what makes the difference, not the mic.
That is the person who is doing the voice, he makes the difference. In the
That is why trained voices are different from untrained voices.
Yes, that's what nowadays everybody you see, they say, okay, I do a voiceover artist, I'm a voiceover artist, and then you give them the things to be done, and they, like your entire, whatever you want to be voiceover is totally different. It does not give that particular punch or the feeling or the emotions.
Many a times we don't ask the client, where do you want the punch? I specifically, when a script comes to me, I check with the client, asking them, where do you want that highlight to be? Do you want that you get 100 dirhams gift voucher?
Correct.
Or do you want this special offer is only till... So when I know what has to be stressed, I'm giving the easiest take for the client to choose. Otherwise, what will happen? You will be back and forth. They will be saying, no, change this, change this, change this. You will do 12 recordings, 13 recordings. You will get bored and you will never be a voice artist. A trained voice artist will know where to stress, and how to deliver it.
Dr. Sir, one more thing. Since now you are so much into this voice mastery, and I believe you have launched a course also for
Yes.
What is this all course? How do you train the upcoming? It can be started when any age. And education background is not so important.
Koi baat nahi, because the language is different.
Language is different, right? So now, what is that you are trying to teach the generation? I will not say younger generation or young adult or adult. Anybody who wants to understand and to learn voice, to become a voice artist, maybe for their own recordings also. Okay. How does your course, which you have developed, goes through it?
First, the level 1 is the basic.
Okay.
Like when you're learning a language, you need to know the alphabet.
Correct.
A, E, E सीख लेते.
जी.
फिर थोड़ा करके मिला के पढ़ लेते.
जी.
Then you have words, then you have phrases, sentences. Similarly, the basics of voicing lies on how you warm up your voice, how you breathe, how you stress, how you modulate, then how the pitch variations apply, how emotions can be applied, and the most essential thing inside a voice training. This comes as a package to voice level 1.
This is level 1?
Yeah, this is level 1.
Oh my God.
Now, level 2 mein, how to apply these things. You have learnt all these things.
Okay.
मतलब आप 5वीं कक्षा से आप 6ठी कक्षा में जा रहे. Like you're going to the 6th standard.
Correct.
Then what happens? You're slowly applying whatever you learned. You've learned a lot of words. Now you make it a story.
Correct.
वैसे ही, you've learned the basics of voice. Then you start working on how to do commercials, how to understand scripts, how to do video blogs, how to do documentaries. What is the difference? What is an IVR? How the application comes on a cartoon voicing, how dubbing can be done. These specifics go on level 2.
Okay.
This is application of level 1.
One basics and then advanced version.
Now level 3 पे क्या होता है? You already know the basics. Then you know how this is applied. And level 3 में you get to learn how to train a person who does not know the basics.
Okay.
Then you become a trainer. Level 4 पे a person comes and says, I don't want to learn about documentaries. I'm only interested in personal पॉडकास्ट.
हम्म.
मतलब आप शेरो शायरी करना चाहते हो बस,
बस
और कुछ
कुछ नहीं करना,
You
बस
don't
पढ़ना है
want-
शेर और शायरी
ठीक है.
बस.
So then what I do, only a coach will be able to tell you that हाँ आपको इमोशन सीखना है, ब्रीदिंग पैटर्न करेक्ट करना है, स्ट्रेसेस पढ़ना है. उसके बाद स्ट्रेट आई विल टेक यू टू शायरी. मतलब इट बिकम्स द ओनस ऑफ द ट्रेनर टू अंडरस्टैंड द नीड ऑफ द क्लाइंट and give him the specific. Then he becomes a coach. That is
Okay.
level 4.
Dr. Sir, there are two things which coming to mind when you're speaking in Triasa. You said about stresses.
Yeah.
Said in today's world, stress is only related to mental stress. What are these stresses in the voice?
मतलब आप मुझे अच्छे लगने लगे हो.
ठीक है.
A sentence. आप मुझे अच्छे लगने लगे हो.
हाँ.
अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ आप मुझे अच्छे लगने लगे हो, you understand the meaning now.
Yes, now.
आप मुझे अच्छे लगने लगे हो. I have started liking you.
you. Correct.
आप मुझे अच्छे लगने लगे हो. I have started liking you. आप मुझे अच्छे लगने लगे हो. Then it's more like surprised. So emotions, stresses, it changes the meaning of the sentence.
So this is what we're calling stresses. This is what they are going to learn.
Yeah. How to stress, where to stress.
Where to stress. This arises one more question to me.
अगर अंग्रेजी में आसानी से बोल देते हैं कि I love you, मतलब I know that I love you. I don't know whether you love me or not.
Correct.
I love you means I have that feeling for you. I love you. I am not loving anybody else.
You won't be the person.
मतलब मीनिंग चेंज होता था.
इसी में तो झगड़े भी हो जाते हैं.
आजकल घर पे झगड़े ऐसे ही होते हैं because the wrong stress.
हाँ, because see, like normally I love you is simple the way you have explained it.
Yeah.
And if you see like normally the wife is very emotional and she says अच्छा या गर्लफ्रेंड है मेरे को I love you बोलो, फिर हाँ I love you ऐसे बोल के चले जाते हैं.
हाँ, वो I will also tell you a secret. When a person is listening to that 3 words, if you're not using emotions, emotion is a happy emotion and there should be love in it.
Correct.
Any positive emotion, a level 1 person will tell you he would have learned that using more breath brings in positive emotion.
Okay.
मतलब if I'm going and tell somebody I love you,
gentle,
कोई मायना नहीं है.
That is like a telephone call.
अगर मैं उनके सामने थोड़ा पॉज, थोड़ा इमोशन और बहुत ढेर सारा ब्रेथ लेके मैं कहूँ, आई प्लेस अ रोज इन फ्रंट ऑफ दैट पर्सन एंड से 10 रुपए का काम है, प्लेस अ रोज इन फ्रंट ऑफ दैट पर्सन, आई से आई लव यू.
ये तो पूरा 1 लाख का हो गया, इससे भी ज्यादा का हो गया.
दैट इज द डिफरेंस वेयर you can use your voice to express your emotions.
Okay. So now one more thing I have to ask. Like now, as seen the students who will join you, now when you are guiding them level 1, level 2 and level 3 and level 4 also, they will be able to make their career the way they want it, as a voiceover artist or maybe a podcast or maybe something?
The difference is, if you want to make it a profession, you can make it a side profession, you can make it a main profession. You can be a commercial voice artist, dubbing artist, podcast, social media influencer, whatever you want to become. You will need your voice. This is the basis for any profession.
One just quick question because the time is getting over, Dr. Saab. Now we see a lot of Netflix and everything, and we see movies being dubbed.
Yes.
So like, are the actors their own voice or it is a voiceover of somebody else?
It's done by voice artists. I personally do voiceovers for English movies to Malayalam.
Okay.
Recently I did for Bade Miyan Chote Miyan to Malayalam.
Okay.
I did the opening introduction for Brahmastra in Malayalam. For the movie Dune, which won an Oscar, I play the Duke